getting a 2-for-1 would be incredible for the Boston Uprising to start the fight off at a man advantage, but he's been forced back. Has his recall still. That's going to be a boon from going into this particular fight. Then we have Fate has fallen down, but Verbo actually has his Valkyrie available if he needs to soon get that pulse bomb. And now Dream Casper, big old step back to wait, but Kellex is bringing the troops back here for Boston.
It's going to be the res that comes in here. Verbo is going to bring Kareev back into the fight using his Valkyrie, and Neko will use the sound barrier to have everybody on the point here for the Boston Uprising. Dream Casper with a rocket barrage. Not end well for him, as this is a fight that looks like Boston will end up losing.
It's a little tight. Agilities, for the most part, his barrage is getting eaten up here. We can see now some of these Valiant players are streaming out onto the point, but Boston still have a few plays in the vicinity. Gamsu's dead. Neko's going to switch off the Lucio now towards the Zenyatta. And Agilities. Node has a self-destruct, so we can always refresh that mech if he needs to keep going in the fight. And it lost Verbo. He almost had Valkyrie. The Valiant now have no Resurrect available, but it may not matter if they get aggressive enough to push forward. Agilities, though, is taken down by the self-destruct. Node is able to plant that on the point and remove the Pharah from the situation. The Valiant have to take 5, and that's Neko from downrange to find Sue.
Valiant will end up losing point A here. They'll have to back out. I think Kareev ends up here, and soon dies. He was actually all the way back by the underpass, so you're not going to have the Tracer. He actually gets res right back up as he makes it a little bit closer to the door. Safer for Verbo to res in there, but it'll be Striker who takes out soon yet again. It's a big rocket barrage that comes out from Dream Casper. It's even bigger in this fight for Boston, Mitch, is that Kareev, he ends up using his ult. You don't have to use either the support ult here for the Boston Uprising. You can hold on to Transcendence and Valkyrie.
Big. He just gets there, but where's the backup going to be? It's going to be a dive in here. Drop in for Fate. Envy now going to get desuited, but blown up as soon as he gets out of the mech. The protection wasn't enough. Now it's going to be Dream Casper again. He takes out Agilities Riptide. That could have been the get out of jail free card for the Los Angeles Valiant, but they're bringing the Transcendence here. In fact, the Valkyrie's also thrown in the mix. They've got everything they could possibly need to hold on, but there may be like the damage and player numbers. Agilities is running back in now on the Soldier 76. He hasn't been in the mix, and they get off. They get off the payload.
Now they start to move in towards the point.
Here we are, Agilities stuck in the middle with Dream Casper. Half HP, and he gets the direct rocket. That's what we're looking for. This came so close earlier on. All he had to do was find one. His opponent was already quite low there. Plenty of help coming in from Fate. And now with Node going down, Agilities is already, you can see him, he's already thinking ahead. Moving forward now. Just to try and prevent any of the reinforcements. I think that's only, it's only Neko getting on towards the point here, so tough for him to hang around. Quick dispatch from Agilities. Job done on point 1.
That was quick. Here is
how aggressive is this guy?
Now it's going to be a big ult advantage in terms of you have that Transcendence for the Valiant here. If Boston comes out to challenge them, rocket barrage, that gets nothing there. Gamsu goes over towards that side, trying to stay alive, making it towards the top of the castle. He will fall.
Matt, this is a really fast time for the Valiant here. The Uprising haven't even been able to hold them off in the second phase. They're going to breathe contest here, but Neko's gone down to Kareev, so he picks up the respawning player in Neko. It needs to be resurrected. They need him in this fight, at least for the Discord Orbs to break through some of these tanks. Soon, bit of respect there. Big step back. Does have his recall available, so he doesn't mind being a little bit reckless for these few moments. Casper tries to throw himself at the payload as Junkrat, and now Striker will be the last clean up there. 4 minutes and 24 seconds for the host. He can now get super aggressive and dive the backline because he knows he can usually reach Sue comfortably himself. Plus, that self-destruct on the payload is such a sick zoning tool at this stage of the game.
The Valkyrie from both sides as Verbo has used his. Kellex got the Valkyrie as well. It'll be Transcendence that comes in for Kareev. You're going to res Agilities back up, bring Striker back into the action as well.
Res. Riptide coming on towards Fate though, dropping the Winston away. I don't think there's a Resurrect available for that one. You can see the Envy's going very, very deep right now. Trying to get on towards Striker, but hasn't been able to clean him up. No, it does get desuited by the Pulse Bomb dropped on there by Soon, and Envy now from the sideline trying to get some Bunny Blast the kills. Kareev in the back line, he's found a couple. Now Gamsu gonna hide under the dome, and Soon gets caught up in a trap there. Striker easily able to one-clip his immobile target. And the Valiant might be running out of gas a little bit here. Agilities needs to hit some mad direct rockets, but Envy finds a hole in the defenses there. Neko gets left upon on Agilities now with a little bit more freedom. Less concerned about the Discord Orb, less concerned about the Zenyatta in general. That's enabled him to find Gamsu. This is good stall coming out from the Uprising, but one by one they're starting to be toppled here. Note's getting a lot of healing, a lot of pocketing, but Kellex is down. Verbo's also fallen though, Matt. They've lost both their mercies here. The self-destruct, that's nasty. Agilities is taken down by that one, but it's still getting closer. Gamsu trying to pressure the point. What is this stall right now? It's a long fight. Position. Okay, it's a 5-man squad here for the Valiant trying to hold up now, and they've lost Envy here. A small advantage, maybe starting to snowball out of control. Definitely seems to be the case, Matt. Fate and Verbo are down. The Uprising has sprung forth. so effectively.
That is such a huge kill for Dream Casper at the beginning that soon gets picked on the other side of, the main pillar that you kind of go around, right? The one to the right of the payload here. And what happens is Verbo's like pretty far away. He's all the way in the back with Kareev. And as soon as he goes in for the res, Boston just jumps.
Well, the fight can really start, and now there's no Pharah present for the Valiant, so it's all boots on the ground for the boys in green and gold, and that's not what they want when they're dealing with the Pharah. Kareev and Envy have gone down here. No, just holding the fort, benefiting from all this healing, pressuring the enemy tanks down. Fate will drop. Striker's also there. So much flexibility and freedom now for the DPSs of the Boston Uprising. Verbo drops again. Agilities has to commit. Nothing to be done. Micro Rockets are going to clean him up, and Note finds him 5 points here for the Uprising.
And the Uprising hold on to their transcender. I mean, you got to change something up just to get back towards this payload. Gamsu has Primal Rage, and he actually takes out Agilities coming out of the spawn. It's a big kill. It's a rocket barrage that comes in from Dream Casper.
They made it.
That is it. The Mercies come up, heal him back to full HP.
As soon as Casper gets remotely close to Agilities, it's like catnip. His concussive blasts himself straight towards the enemy Baron, tries to go in for the fight. Now the Valiant are trying to start a fight of their own. Envy's down, and Gamsu's brought back to life after being pulse bombed there, so they still have that Winston in play. The Diva mech, though, from Note isn't. That's a factor. Agilities needs to stay alive here and try and get somewhere, but he won't get to his barrage. And Casper's managed to find him, and now Fate with a Primal Rage indoors. This could be nasty.
Yeah, it's Valkyrie up for both sides. Now the Transcendence here that comes in for Boston at the end of the fight. They'll end up taking this. A minute to go. Soon is all the way in the back.
Envy just checking their periphery, making sure that no one's going to be sneaking in from outside. And that was Neko. He's been found. Envy now is going to have to give up his mech and get a quick resuit here, but it may be worth it with Dream Casper out of the picture. Agilities finally has some room to spread his wings, or at least just trying to pump some more of these rockets down. Barrage not available to him. He must have used it recently to little result, otherwise the kill feed would have indicated that. But Soon's got a pulse bomb. He'll be waiting for anyone to try and drop down on towards the point. Yeah, sure, Matt. The Valiant will have themselves the point here, but they've got a long climb to go.
Right here before you take point B and get one game-winning fight on the bridge.
Oh my lord!
Who connects with 2 long-range shots onto Agilities, and that'll force out the Valkyrie from both sides.
We cast this game 2 years ago, and that would never happen. You would just never see it happen. But the Pharah play, the standard of it has increased so drastically since then, and now we're getting stuff like this treated to us all the time. I love it. Notice the Valiant is staying very close to the payload and just using Fate more aggressively going forward. Well, kind of doesn't work out because he gets picked off, and now the Pulse Bomb is going to claim Envy. They've lost one of their tanks. Fate was brought back, and now double Transcendence going in. And you know what happens if a Storm has 2 eyes? You know it's going to be pretty rough. Soon now is trying to make something of the churning mass here, but Agilities is up above, continuing to pound down. Casper's got a vendetta to settle, I feel.
He has been doing quite well. Another direct hit there. Lands it onto Soon. Fate does have Primal Rage, though, so could extend this if needed for the Valiant. Valiant still have 3 players left here as Dream Casper connects with a rocket barrage onto Fate. They want to keep Fate alive long enough for Verbo to come back with his Valkyrie. It'll be Whole Hog that's used from Envy. Soon is also going to use a Deadeye. A lot of ultimates being invested here by the Valiant to try and hold on to point A.
Oh, Agilities Riptide is taken down. That could have been what would have given them a bit of breathing space here, but the Uprising just don't do that. They suffocate you slowly but surely. Now they're going to make the way to the point. They've surrounded both of these tanks here now, and the big Hogman is going to struggle. Yeah, you can see Envy. About 4 people attack.
Run through this map quick.
Well, you know they want it. Pulse Bomb stuck towards Envy. He gets deep suited now. Dream Casper, it's his Wonderland. He's found Agilities and Verbo. He's got Fate as well. That's a big haul for him. And the Valiant are struggling for players. They lost so much in that last little fight. See, Gamsu was all about it there. Where are the Los Angeles Valiant? Nowhere to be seen. Coalescence, he just doesn't have the healing. So he's going to back away, but Neko just slaps him in the face. He tries to go for the channel, but he's no one there to really receive the healing, and he was out of position anyway. Dream Casper, you see Agilities is trying to keep him at arm's length with a Whole Hog, but this guy's relentless. Eventually he's going to have his prey. And he gets 2 with that blade. Agilities falls there. Throw with the incredible. Earthshatter comes in. Actually only catch Note. The bubble water protected the Earthshatter, had it been towards the left anyway.
It reflected. Oh, the grab got reflected.
Dream Casper sent them back towards the Los Angeles Valiant. They're all tied together with a pretty bow, and now it's for Boston Uprising to send out 1 airmail, trying to pressure down It's going to be Neko getting resurrected up here. Coalescence over the point transcendence now. Boston Uprising going to respond with some of their support ultimates they save from the prior fight. And Casper got another Dragon Blade here. The man has done everything in this fight. Completely shut down the Los Angeles Valiant's win condition coming in with a reflex. But the Valiant, they've got grip. They're holding on as long as they possibly can. Agilities, whole hog fate goes down, but Striker got caught in the mix and was blown up by his own pulse bomb ultimately. Gamsu now 500 HP with that Primal Rage. It might be a struggle for him here to hang around. He is stalling for a decent amount of time, but the Valiant get it done. Very low on that HP. It looks like all the Valiant have been cleared off. Kareem tried for it. Envy's now back. That Diva mech that the Valiant values so highly just gets cast aside, as does the rest of that Los Angeles attack. Casper then, who's rear-ended into Agilities coming into the blaze of glory, but he puts himself in the most vulnerable position possible for a Farah, and no resurrect here. Verbo looks like he has a Valkyrie. There it is, it's coming in, but now Casper wants to get rid of him, swats him aside. Agilities gets taken down. I don't think I've seen that in a long time. That was filthy.
Dream Casper.
That's what I love about the Overwatch League.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Kelly is a very good off-tank in his own right, but no, made a big difference. Valkyrie will bring Dreamcaster right back up. The self-destruct has launched up in the sky.
Straight away, Casper gets bombed. There's no way the Valiant want to deal with him. And Kellex brings Casper back for the second time. This time, he gets to hang around a little bit longer. The Valiant are on the capture, and then Casper dies. By the way, he dies 3 times in that fight. Twice to Agilities, once to Soon. And finally, the Valiant have managed to deal at least with him, but Agilities has a barrage. He actually goes for it. Defense Matrix was an issue, and no, just fights in the shade. He just fights in the shade. A bit of space here for the Valiant, and they're still chasing Casper. Soon knows better than to get too close.
And they got Verbo at the beginning, so you didn't have an opportunity for a res during that fight. Neko will take out Fate.
I mean, Soon has to go ham here. He needs to get Neko. He needs to at least get past the Zenyatta. He's got him, but he needs to get onto the point. There's another player on the point, and then overtime, still being held in stasis for the time being. I don't think there's any coming back from this one, though, Matt. Soon is one of the only players left here for the Valiant. He tries, but Striker finds him. Headshot with the double pass pistols, and that's all she wrote.
Gamsu right now, and Neko does earn the
he's caught him on the way
with
through.
a nice shot there on the Soon.
Riptire might have saved the situation, but Agilities was taken down, as well as his tire on the way. Dream Casper's not having any of it. Gamsu's supercharger now, no longer in effect. Obviously does help your Widowmakers, for example, get those insta kills. I see that supercharger's turned out to be a lot more helpful than people realize, especially when it comes to Deadeye or any of those other abilities. But Note's up here on the payload. Envy's just going to get cut down. He can't save himself with the whole churning. And now Note's going to get a little bit up close and personal with old mate Soon.
And Agilities dies. Oh, he finally got some agility
now as well. Getting around it. Dream Casper, okay. Gonna be Striker that comes to the rescue. Bails his buddy Casper out of trouble there. The pulse bomb was dropped on Gamsu, but it was fortified, so he's taking significantly less damage than the other eyes would have. Striker knew where he'd be! Oh, the predictive hook, that's lovely. Soon just recalls straight into that one. 3 seconds prior, or however much it is, I believe it's 3. Striker knew exactly where he'd be. Verbo with Valkyrie, but I think there's too many bodies to res here.
The Transcendence that comes in for the Uprising. I think it's just a matter of time. Agilities with a blade. He's behind enemy lines here, but this would be a true hero play if he pulled it out. He'll hold on to it soon. Shitfall here. It's a 1-on-6. Boston continues there to follow it up. Now Neko uses that Transcendence. Agility still with his blade. He drops at the hands of Striker.
I mean, this gives the payload. Look at the zoning impact of that ult, by the way. We use it as a joke, but all the Valiant were forced to head for the hills there. Dragon Blade, you can see a big roll back from Dream Casper, and he deals with his assailant. Agilities was so close. The keen edge on his blade, looking for Casper's throat. And instead it was the McCree that comes out on top in that battle, and Kellex is very close to that Valkyrie. Verbo just gets splattered against the wall like a bad Rorschach test. And that's going to be it for the time being. Interesting. Soon now setting up. They want it for the tank mode. That's what we're going to need it. I think, yeah, Kellex is going to use it now. Actually gets cut down. Kellex had Valkyrie. He was using it. And only gets Gamsu resurrected as a result.
Yeah, he actually gets hooked in by Envy and finished off. Dreamcaster and Neko with 2 big kills. And even though they don't get much of a build towards that Valkyrie quicker, here comes the self-destruct coming right into Envy. He's able to live on through it.
For the time being, Casper makes sure the job gets finished, but that's a lot of ultimates committed to that situation. Casper now starting to fight back a little bit after the Riptire already claimed Neko.
But you don't mind if you're Boston investing that many ultimates into this fight, because where the payload is, the Valiants are most likely.
He gets up on a high perch here. Casper just loads down on Agilities, and the explosions are so real right now. Soon and Envy are both down. Resurrect's desperately coming in. Verbo needs to keep the boys up. Soon and Envy are back, but Envy gets desuited almost instantly. Dream Casper is finally dealt with, and that Transcendence you were talking about for Kariv is now in play, but no, he's out there, he's getting it done. Oh, is he ever? It's gonna be the Boston Uprising. They hold up in the heat.
They get a 4-0 here against the Los Angeles Valiant. We talked about our game earlier, you know, the London Spitfire.